Welcome to the Orange Power Podcast, and we're excited to have with us a couple of national champions. It's talking about the Oklahoma State Cowboy wrestlers. 174, Dean Hamiti, heavyweight over there, the Captain America, and a great victory. And we're going to talk about all that with Wyatt Hendrickson coming up. But guys, first off, appreciate you being here, taking time. I know you're extremely busy these days, but more importantly, congratulations on an outstanding season.
Thank you. Thank you.
Let's talk a little bit about this season. Dean, let's start with you. Let's start with the why. Why Oklahoma State? Why did you end up here?
Yeah, I knew Oklahoma State was a very technical university, that they were going to make me better in technique-wise, and, it's a legendary program, so I was very honored to be able to come here.
Did the coaching change have anything to do with it? Was it, obviously with opportunities and just the newness of what was going on here, was that part of it?
I got here before, or I committed before Dave was coach.
Okay, all right.
So, I was kind of just here, wondering who it was going to be, and when it was announced, I was super pumped and excited to get to work.
What about for you, Wyatt?
Yeah, similar to Dean, this legacy runs really deep here. This is a historic program. I've been here before, as a kid watching these duels, and when Coach Taylor gave me a call, he's like, "Hey, I'll make you a national champion," and obviously he's been there, done that, and so that's someone I I put my trust in what he was telling me, and the end of the year it came time to be a national champion, and we got it done.
174, Wisconsin. You had 3 top 5 finishes, right? Did you know this year was going to be different?
Yeah, I knew it was different just because I felt more confident in my mindset, more confident in my training, and I think that showed during the tournament. Was the confidence because of the new location, or was it just, hey, I'm older now, I know what to expect better? I think it was a blend of a couple things, just, really keying in on my mindset and, staying relaxed and calm and patient, and it's a mix of those technique things, being more patient with my reattacks, my shots, and really just executing to the best of my ability.
What about for you, Wyatt? Obviously, again, you said Coach said, I'm going to make you a champion. Did you believe it from day one?
Yeah, I think I had to, because you don't decide at the national tournament if you want to be a national champion. You have to decide that months and months ahead, because you have to train like you want to be a national champion. You don't just show up and get it done. So I don't want to speak for Dean, but I'm sure it's on the same lines as, the last programs we came from, they weren't bad programs. It's just sometimes when you're in the same environment, it gets easy to be stagnant and stop moving forward. So I know for a lot of the guys that transferred to Oklahoma State, it was just something fresh, it was new, and, the technique and everything they had to offer was just a grand slam hit when you were looking at, training environment, training partners, the training coaches. We have such a diverse system of, coaches and networks of when we're lifting, when we're not lifting, nutrition, they have so many resources that have just made it a game changer when it comes to being able to still be a great athlete on and off the mat.
So we're obviously talking to you two because you won the titles, right? But this team needed to be celebrated, right? This was an incredible team effort all the way around. Now listen, this program's about championships, but it has to grow back to that, and obviously that's the process. Finishing third, first year for Coach Taylor, you guys had to love being a part of it, because you could feel the swell in this town, the pride, not just for you two, but this entire program. That was palatable all year long. Did you feel that?
Yeah, there was a lot of buzz around the team, and I think rightfully so. We had a bunch of All-Americans and a bunch of guys that were going to go out there and give it their all every single match, and, I think that's what a fan base likes, when they know that someone's going to go out there and fight for them every time.
Yeah, I think right now, I think Dean and I are just kind of the tip of the iceberg, but I don't want that to take any away the glory, because, like we said, we had a lot of All-Americans, Caleb Fish, Troy Spratley, runner-up, that's huge. The progress he's made this year, Cameron Amin, a lot of those guys, Dustin Ply, these guys are amazing guys that should be celebrated, and so I don't want that to pass over. Yes, right now, Dean and I, we're both national champions, that's awesome, but we can't forget about the people that made that happen. It's not just Dean and I going out there, it's all 10 of us and all the coaches. So even though, yes, kind of right now, it's I think it's important to see all the work that everyone else on this team has, put in, and not only the 10 starters, but everyone that's in here training with us. If it's just us 10 in the room, we're not going to get where we want to be. We have those guys that are willing to come in here and on those extra days and help give us the best feels so that when we go out there in the national tournament, we can wrestle our absolute best.
Yeah, and you guys obviously were able to do that. I know you're going to break down this video at some point, right? You guys are going to watch it closely, but let's go back, all right? So you're taking on a guy that you had faced in the Big 12 championship, and he'd gotten you. You see the draw on the other side. Give me your thoughts going into it.
Yeah, I was confident through it. I knew that to get to the finals and win the national championship, I had to beat him. And we worked on the reps that I did wrong in the Big 12s, and I think that led to me being able to win in the nationals.
Well, and obviously a sudden victory win. He had your ankle, right? You had him, but he had your ankle. So talk to me a little bit about how you got that and finished it.
Yeah, we'd been in the practice room a million times. I'm super comfortable in that position, and how many times I had to roll, like 4, but we're pretty comfortable in that position, and I was just relaxed throughout the whole thing.
So let's go to heavyweight, all right? So you walk out with the flag. Where did that decision come from? Was that all you immediately? Was that going to be, tell me how you thought that was going to be perceived, and did you anticipate his reaction?
Yeah, so what kind of drove that is I've seen people in the past have done that sometimes. Obviously on the world stage, Olympics, after you win an Olympic gold medal, after you win a world championship, that's most commonly where it's seen. But what's so wrong about wanting to represent your country, here at the NCAA tournament? So I remember a couple years ago, I was with Calvin Sund, my best friend from the Air Force Academy, and we saw someone walk out with the flag, and he was like, dude, when you get to the national championship, you got to wear that flag. You have to. And so it's kind of a no-brainer, especially since, I'm commissioned. I'm a second lieutenant now. I stand for more than Oklahoma State. I stand for this country. I stand for the Air Force. So sharing that love with the world, I think that's amazing. Gable might have taken it as a little bit of, maybe, I don't know if it's undeserving or what, but I did not anticipate that reaction he had. And I was so focused in the moment, I wasn't even paying attention to what he was saying. But looking back at the film, looking back at the video, there was definitely a little bit of beef. He was trying to stir the pot early on, and I think it even worked in my favor because he might have anticipated to throw me off my game by pushing me off, but he tried to push a wall and fell back himself. So I definitely think that it kind of hurt him more than anything. But no, I did not anticipate any repercussions of walking out there with that American flag on my back.
3-2, you got in a couple of escapes. He gets another 2. All of a sudden, this thing it's 4-2, and you're feeling like, all right, I got to take my shot. The last minute, where did the energy come from? And do you think you shocked him that you still had that much in the tank?
Yeah, usually when you're in that type of wrestling scenario, whenever you're feeling tired, your opponent's going to feel pretty similar. That's a known thing. And I think maybe I was able to wear Gable out a little bit, physically, but also maybe a little bit mentally. Usually his matches don't come down to that close of a match, and it was definitely, on my side when it comes to looking at the score, the time left. But I just felt, some presence behind me. I'm a big in my faith. My Lord and Savior Jesus Christ has blessed me, and I definitely think there's an angel or someone was on that mat with me, because when I was wrestling, it was just some unreal, unnatural power. I was like, I'm ready to go. Like this is gonna get done. And
yeah.
I mean, all I remember is just taking that shot and then just sitting there and driving. I just knew that if I didn't get that shot, it was gonna be tough to finish that match. And ended up being winning that match to become a national champion. So, I mean, I remember I got it, and it was just, I think everyone was shocked. No one knew what to do. We were just like, oh my gosh, I mean, that just happened. That last 20 seconds was the ride. It was the ride of my life. I was holding them on there. And I mean, everything just worked out the way it was supposed to.
It's so unbelievable, honestly. Again, obviously you get the shot, you get the takedown, you hold on, you hold him off, you get the win. There's about 40 elements that happen from that point on. First off, the salute to the president. Did it just hit you? It's like, oh, I mean, I'm in the military. There's the president, commander-in-chief. I need to go salute him.
Yeah, I mean, I was just so grateful that he loves the great sport of wrestling. Senator Mullen obviously likes to bring him and try to see if he wants to watch some national wrestling, and he always is down for it, which is amazing. So I think just, it kind of hit me in the moment. I'm like, I felt proud. It was a great moment. I wanted to show my respects, and he showed his respects back, which is just, it means so much to me, because I'm really blessed to be in this situation where I can still be in the service and being able to wrestle in the NCAA. So I'm just very grateful. It felt amazing.
You get to put your head on his shoulder, the president's shoulder. I mean, again, it was so honest and real and raw that it was just, if you're a Cowboy fan, there's no way you just beaming with pride because of what was going on right there. I mean, what was the cool? I mean, your dad's I mean, everything was phenomenal. It really was a Hollywood script. What has been? What? Let me back up. What was your favorite part of that process up to the point where you left the mat?
Giving my family that hug. That's the hug that we've been, praying and waiting for the past 18 years. Ever since I was a kid, there's been a lot of sacrifice that we've made when it comes to wrestling camps and, maybe missing some birthdays. So having the opportunity to finally start seeing those dividends come get paid, it was just amazing because, my dad, he was, obviously, he was my coach and he always pushed me to be the best. And sometimes when you're, 7, 8, 9, 10 years old, you might not understand it. You want to go play out on the playground, but dad says, hey, let's go get some push-ups in, let's get some pull-ups in, and let's get better. So it was really just the sense of, I was so grateful that all that hard work had paid off. Not much really needed to be said because I looked in my dad's eyes and he knew that I knew that all those sacrifices we had made were definitely worth it.
It was just an incredible moment. Where were you when all of that was? I mean, because you just won a title, right? Where were you when all that was going on?
I was in the back tunnel for a little bit, and then once he got the last takedown, we all ran out there. We were jumping around, screaming.
I want to go back to the team concept because, again, two of you remain standing. What was it like when you guys got back with the full team, with the coaching staff, and everybody got a chance to celebrate the season, got a chance to celebrate the 2 titles?
Yeah, all the people that were at the airport cheering us on, that was awesome. I think our team definitely feeds from the energy from that, and it brought us into a better mood immediately and just wiped everything away.
What's next for you?
I'm going to stay here in the RTC and train and hopefully accomplish those international goals that I have.
Outstanding. And for you, listen, I was with Cowgirl basketball. We flew in from Storrs, Connecticut. There's throngs of people in the airport, and I go, they're not here for us. But so that moment had to be great. I immediately went to Cowgirl softball, and who's there? But you guys are at Cowgirl softball. You were at the Cowboy basketball, NIT. I mean, this has had to have been an absolute whirlwind for the last 72 hours.
It's been very exciting, but I'll tell you what, just like Dean said, the best thing was coming back and, just getting off the airplane and the whole, a lot of the towns there to support us. And I think that's why we do it. Just, because, it's important to do stuff for yourself, but thinking of the bigger picture and, having the support from the community, that's what really, like I said, all that hard work I'd put in since I was a kid, then me seeing my dad, that's kind of the same thing with the city. We put all this hard work in the past 7, 8 months, and now they're there to celebrate us because they're part of this. Not only did the Cowboys do a great job, but Stillwater did a great job of being such a great support throughout the the entire season. We had so many people inside of Gallagher Iba throughout the season, and I think it was such a great conclusion. It was also it felt good. And Dean came over to me, and we were just like, dude, this hasn't settled in yet, but it was just so awesome. It's finally, it was like, hey, we set out for a goal, we completed it. I think we're going to relax a little bit, but we're going to get back to work. We still got more national titles to come. We're at 145, but that's not going to be slowing down anytime soon.
The other thing is obviously this community went through a lot of tragedy with the fires, right? And so they look to sport. This is a sports community. And we were getting that with men's basketball. We're winning some fantastic games, and obviously there's a lot of outlets, but you guys were able to provide a couple really important. Did you feel that? Did you feel I even had a coach tell me I felt pressure to perform and for us to win because our people needed relief. Did you feel that you provided that relief for them?
I think that a win of this type of caliber is going to cheer up the community in any way, and me and Wyatt are grateful to be ambassadors for the community, and we try to do our best to be the best role models we can be.
If I'm going to ask both of you this, if you hadn't come to Oklahoma State, would you be a national champion?
No.
How did this program develop you this year into a champion?
Yeah, and I think in every single way, just little things, but little things make the biggest difference. So I'd say like mindset, wrestling-wise, support, just overall energy, and just bringing that all together to bring the national championship back.
What about for you?
Yeah, I'm a true believer in God's plan, and I think God's plan for me was to be a national champion, and the place to be to make that come true is Stillwater, Oklahoma, here as a Cowboy. So I'm grateful to be a Cowboy. I'll be a Cowboy for the rest of my life.
Yeah, no, it was an incredible ride. It really was, and it was cool having a former Cowboy call your matches, and hearing Daniel Daniel was losing his mind.
That was hilarious.
It was great stuff. Guys, I've been around this campus for a long time. It's been fun to watch you. It's fun to see the reemergence of this program. John Smith is a legend. And Dave Taylor has come in and has just piggybacked on that and has really re-energized it. And you guys were a big part of that. So congratulations to both of you. Best of luck in whatever is next. And thanks for being a part of the podcast.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
That's going to do it for us. For Dean Hamiti and for Wyatt Hendrickson, I'm Casey Kendrick. Appreciate you guys tuning in. We'll see you next time on the Orange Power Podcast.